Hi, it's Katherine here with a mixed media page for BoBunny using their beautiful line Garden Party. My page is called Versailles. I start off using Fragrance as the base, which is a beautiful brick wall pattern, and then Garden Party, which is this beige bubbly one, Enchanted, which is the green succulent print, and Serenity, which is this purple paper here. I'm tearing strips of them together to add some texture to my page, and I've got my photos stuck together roughly with washi tape so I know where they're going to occupy on the page. Once I'm happy, I stick it all down. I then use a Flower Power stickable stencil along with some silver metal stencil paste, just adding it very roughly at diagonal corners. These stencils give a really nice and crisp image. Next, I'm using some of the delicate metallic acrylic paints with some water. So this is purplish silver, and I'm soaking my gauze in it and then setting it aside to dry. I do the same with the greenish silver. You don't need very much of the paint at all once it's mixed with water. It gives you a really nice strong colour. They do go a long way, these paints. I'm then cutting up some of the medium doilies to add another layer behind my photos. And then I do a little bit of stamping with the Dreamer stamps. So I've got hot air balloons in purple, and then I use a smaller one, I use silver, just to complement the colours within the papers and on the page. I then use the Take Note stamps and one of the text ones in there. With this one, I ink it black and then I stamp a little bit off on the side so I don't get a really harsh image. Also, the fact that I'm not using a block helps me not get harsh edges at all. Now my gauze is dry, I arrange that on the page. I've cut it into strips and add a mixture of the silvery purple and the greenish silver as well, and I staple it down, and then I add a little bit of glue just to hold it all in place. I'm using the TikTok die, which I add to the top as a really beautiful fine clock die, and then one of the crowns from the Royal die set, and then I add my photos on top of that. I've also used one of the new dies, which is To and From. I've used a smaller one from this, and I'm just adding some purple around the edge, and then I use the Hearts laser cut chipboard, which I add a bit of the silver wax paste and then also some of the lavender glitter paste too. I also use one of the flourishes from the Fanciful die set. I use a bit of glue and I add some of the small 3D balls that Pentart produce. Once these are dry, I then use some of the same silver stencil paste. I mix it with some water and just add that colour in on top. I also cover my photos and add some flicks of the silver paint whilst I'm there. I do the same thing with the greenish silver. And also the purplish silver. Sometimes the colours look like they're going onto the 3D balls quite strongly, but they do repel it a bit, so it's never quite as dark as you think. I use the To and From die set to cut out my title, which I printed, just inking the edges, and then I layer these up. I add a bit more of the silver around the edge and then some of the green gauze that I had from earlier, and I also add a few bits of the doily that I still have left over. Again, I get some watered down purplish silver and I just edge around all of the major elements on my page. So I'm turning the page around and just adding little bits of it all the way around because it goes so beautifully with the colours in this paper range. And then from the ephemera pack I also add a little bit of bunting down into the bottom corner. And here's my completed page. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. You can find out more details and a full supply list over on the blog. So do go over and have a look. Thank you for watching. Bye.